The two candidates for mayor of Weymouth talked turkey before a crowd of bankers, lawyers, and other business leaders at South Shore Savings Bank. The budget, development, and revenue were key points of discussion.
One is the current budget shortfall the town has. That's going to be a difficult issue to deal with. We financed the current year we're in part by using one-time revenues, primarily the sale of the Fulton School. That's about $2 million of non-recurring revenues. We haven't settled the employee contracts yet. I believe our payroll is roughly $70 million, so every 1% you give as a cost of living increase is $700,000. So whatever increase is given in FY08 is adding to that $2 million hole that we're going to start the FY09 budget with, unless there's some other one-time source that we're not aware of.
I know Weymouth. I know its closets. I know the good points of it. I know the bad points, the weaknesses and the strengths. I also know it in Braintree and how I came to adjust. On any given day, you're the foreman of where a foreman didn't show up on a job. You're looking into water and sewer issues. I'm used to that. I'm used to dealing with police, with fire, with council on agings, all through the town.
There were some hardball questions on tax overrides and support for the airbase redevelopment.
Ladies and gentlemen, as many of you may know, I did not vote for the airbase plan. I did not vote for the airbase plan, not because I didn't think it was a decent plan necessarily. I felt that the traffic portion, what the peer results, all of the reports coming out, and I looked at them and evaluated them for years, were inconsistent. The peer reports themselves were inconsistent with each other. We heard numbers starting at 39,000 additional trips, 65,000, down to 29,000. It was my opinion that they never really resolved or mitigated what was going to happen. And when you consider that 3 egresses coming out onto Route 18, yeah, you're going to put an additional lane. We were going to do that for, I believe, back 10, 15 years. More than that, probably 20. Dave, you know that. We talked about that probably 20 years ago. So, I mean, that was already in the mix. I feared for that, and I did not think it was complete and could not, in all conscience, vote the plan. The next day after my colleagues voted the plan, because I know the importance of the plan, and in fact Peter tried to get me to vote for it, many people tried to. All I ever asked was for the connector road. If you get me the connector road, I can vote the plan. My conscience would not let me vote it. The next day, again, my colleagues had voted it. I honored their vote and will work and have worked to the success of the base. It's here, it's in place. We need to generate revenue there.
So I did vote for the plan. I've supported it from the start, and I think that's a big difference. I took the time to get the facts, and you know, my Mrs. Kay mentions that she wanted to make sure the connector road's in place. The base isn't going to be developed unless the connector road is in place, so that's really not an issue per se. All we can do to develop the base is the phase 1A, which we're doing right now, until the connector road is underway.
And if I ever get to the point where we cannot come up with any new revenues, and we're performing the best we can, and it means cutting back on our services drastically so as to hurt our residents, I would never propose such a thing. In addition, one has to look at other communities who have voted overrides. I think Milton's into their 7th. Does that mean you put more money into the government? Are they using it efficiently? So I'm not convinced that supporting a proposition override, putting money into government necessarily satisfies, because it seems like they always have to come back for more. So no, I would not be supporting it.
But at this point in time, I don't. Now, 4 years from now, and I'm in my last term, and we haven't got a local aid increase. You know, you can do hypotheticals and say, is there a possibility somewhere? But I don't see it. I've been a fiscal conservative all my life, so I just can't see in this 4-year window that Colin McPherson will be standing before you saying, I want a Proposition 2.5 increase. So.
Weymouth's election is November 6th. For more coverage, see Wednesday's Patriot Ledger and visit patriotledger.com. This is Jack and Canarcio for the Patriot Ledger.